What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a deck list. This is of my Dino rabbits. It's topped all 4 locals I've went to this month, and it's doing really good for me. And I have really interesting tech choices, so I thought it was worthwhile to show you guys what I try. So obviously, we have our bunnies. That's self-explanatory. We have our vanillas, which makes sense, perfect sense, obviously. So that's in every Dino Bunny deck. That shouldn't be a surprise. If it is, I don't think you've ever looked at a Dino Bunny deck before. This is where it starts switching up a little tiny bit for me. I run 3 T-Kings. The reason for that is it can get over most things that people can normal summon, and it really stuns a lot of decks since they can't get it to their hands. And when they can get around your plays with a special summon, you can just stop it. All around, it's a broken card, this format. I really don't see it staying at 3, in my opinion. I say in March it's going to go to 2. It's really, really good. We have our tour guides. Sangan. This is where a lot of people question why I run that. There's a reason why I run that. Its effect resolves off an Exceed. If you go Levier, you can use Torbus's effect and replenish your vanillas. So you can use your 2 Sabersaurus, go Levier, put a Sabersaurus back, then bring back your rabbit, use those 2 Sabersauruses again. It is fucking busted. Pretty much you can go for 4 Exceeds instead of 2 if you play it right. It's really, really good. No, yeah, it does suck drawing into it. That's what a lot of people say, but I favor it over Night Assailant just for that reason. Instead of Guaibos, I run a Grand Mole, 2 Spirit Reapers. Spirit Reaper won me the game playing last locals. I ended up sitting on Spirit Reaper for 4 turns, getting around all of his monsters, and then knocking 5 cards out of his hand with its effect. And I ended up winning that game in Game 3. So it was pretty nuts. I favor those over Guaiba. I feel Guaiba's too slow in this deck. I just don't favor it at all, really. It's too hard to get over stuff. Guaiba Lance is like your best case scenario, but like you don't get that a lot. I run 1 Veiler. That's all I really need to stun someone. I have Dolka. I run a BLS. Like, I have T-Kings and a Veiler, and then I have my tour guides. So, like, there's no reason I shouldn't run BLS. The monster count there is 20. 20 monsters. Moving on to spells. We have our regular staples. Shouldn't be a surprise. And this is where it kind of switches up. I run 3 MST. The reason for the 3 MST is that before I go bunny play or tour guide play, I never like to have someone with back row. It just intimidates me too much. I'm really scared I'm gonna rabbit 2 Sabersaurus. Aw shit, they bottom list. There goes all my vanillas. I'm fucked for the game. So I at least take away one of their back row before I go off, at least if I find them scary looking. And then this way too, I can kind of go for Dolka without fear. Because usually people go Logia first. I've seen some people do it because they're scared of back row, like if it's Mirror Force. But I'd rather go Dolka, stun the shit out of your monster effects, and then just use the MSTs to save me from the back row. 2 Lance. It's a really fun card. You can use it a lot of ways. Using it in damage step is pretty hilarious when someone's attacking into you. That's pretty much it for that. Avarice. Makes sense. Get back those vanillas, get back those tour guides. And this, I took that out for, I put this in for Book of Moon, took out Book of Moon. Book of Moon is really cool because of how it makes, like, Stardust's effect resolve and whatnot. But, Mind Control, I've done this a lot. Like, okay, you're sitting on Marshmallow, excuse me. You're sitting on Marshmallow, I have Tour Guide in hand and Mind Control. I go Tour Guide, Sangan, Mind Control your Marshmallow, overlay into my Zenmaines or my Levier, then leave the Sangan for the Bunny Search. So that's why I pretty much run Mind Control. It's a really good card. Onto the traps. There was 10 spells, by the way. 2 Mirror Force, should not be a surprise. 2 Deprison, again, it's just good back row. The bottomless makes sense. Like, you shouldn't have questions about these. 2 Solemns, like still, it doesn't let a card hit the field. It's still a really good card, even though Prio's been gone for a long time. I still really like Solemn. That's like my choice back row. I would remove friggin' Mirror Forces over this. Like, I just love Solemn Warning. It's just a good card in my opinion. And I run 2 Compulsory. It's absolutely broken, this format, for all the Exceeds. It just gets around Zen mains, no question asked. You go for any Exceed really, and I just stop it. It's a pretty great card. Going on to my extra deck. The extra deck has a few weird choices. Obviously, you run your 2 Logia. That shouldn't be a surprise. 2 Dolkas, again, obviously. 1 Utopia, 1 Utopia Ray. That's for the mind control. Mind control your Utopia. Drop a Utopia Ray on it. And the other ones, I don't know. If I mind control a 4, and then I have to go for something, because I don't have 2 dinos, I go for that. Cowboy, I like it. It's alright. I just recently put it in. I didn't get to go for it, but playing casuals, it's really fun. A Pap. Really gets around stuff like Marshmallow and whatnot. Like, if they're just sitting on it, you can just use Pap and knock away at them. They'll be pretty quick to get rid of that Marshmallow. Maystroke. Makes sense. It's a Book of Moon. I like it a lot. Kochi. He's alright. He's like my 15th, to be honest. Like, I don't go for him very often. But, I don't know. There's scenarios where he can be good. On to the 3s. We got Zen mains. Shouldn't be a surprise. We have Golem. Golem makes sense. He helps you get over things. I really hate going for him, though, because half the time I get stuck with it, and I'm starting to take 2,000, and it's just a frustrating card. Levier makes sense. Leviathan makes sense. And then I have one interesting card, and a lot of people are asking me about that. There's 2 reasons. 1, I had the room, to be honest. 2, change it into a boss Exceed. Okay, first turn I went Thunder King, which I normally do to stun you. Then I go Rabbit. I have 3 4s. I can just then go into this thing. You have a Big Eye? This is going to be fun. I'll go Big Eye. I'll take your Big Eye. I've done that before. It's just overall a really interesting card. Obviously I can't go into side deck because side deck changes depending on what your meta is. Our meta right now is a lot of light and dark decks, so light imprisonings and shadow imprisonings. And our meta is a lot of bunny variant, so I side some fiendish chains. Depends, it really does, on who's showing up, what decks are going to be there. So, like, when it comes to your side deck, you should always just run what you think feels right, and run it to stop your matchups. Like, I usually side for the best players up there, so I stand a better chance when playing against them. So anyways, tell me what you think. If you have any opinions on the deck, or if you have any choices, like, I'm all ears. Like, I've been playing the deck for a while, but I'm always, if you have criticism about it, as long as it's constructive, I'd like to hear it. But anyways, thanks guys.